Hello, once again, it is time to start some seeds, and today is very exciting because we are doing tomatoes, and I have quite the variety here that I'm starting. I am doing cherry tomatoes and my slicers today. I'm starting all of my tomatoes. I have all my markers laid out here, and I have my tray filled with potting soil, and it's ready to go. So, I'm going to be filling this entire tray with tomatoes, which is very exciting. So, my plan for the year is to do cherries and slicers again. I am also going to be doing a few determinate Romas. I'm looking at my list. I have my list over here on the closet door behind you guys. But I am trying some new varieties this year, new for me anyway. So I'm excited about that as well. And I am going to be selling plants. So I am starting basically this entire 72 cell tray with tomatoes. Now, I do this because I pretty much bet on not having 100% germination, and that way I don't end up with none of a certain variety. So that's kind of how I do things. So I'm gonna get some markers put in here. So when I start tomato seeds, I wait until I do them about 8 weeks before I plant them. Now, right now, today is March 19th, and I will probably not plant these out until, my rule of thumb is Mother's Day weekend is when I want to plant my tomatoes. Maybe a few days before that, I will start working on them, but I really just watch the weather. We have had late frosts the last, I think 2 of the last 3 years. We've had a frost into May. My average last frost date where I am is actually like April 19th or 20th. But we've had a late frost the last couple years. 1 year, I don't remember, it must have been 2021. I had actually already planted some of my tomatoes. I had started the process and then had to go out and cover everything 2 nights in a row. So that was fun. Right now I'm starting with my cherry tomatoes. I did Salsa Cafe, which I did last year and really liked. It's a red tomato, a red cherry. They get a pretty decent size. Like, they're not like a super tiny cherry tomato. They're a little bit bigger. They're really good on like salads and stuff. They have a nice rich flavor. And now I'm doing some Blonde Girl cherries, which are just delicious. Next is Brad's Atomic Grape, which I've never done before. And I got these in the seed swap that I did last fall. So I am really excited to try these. I've heard good things, but also some people say they don't like them. So I'm curious to try them, mostly just to see what I think. So, yeah. Next is blueberries, which this one I tried for the first time last year, but if you remember, my cherry tomatoes had to be moved in the middle of the year. So these didn't do super great, but they are really tasty and delicious, and so I am definitely doing them again. Next is black cherry. Actually, no, I'm gonna do these up here. Yep, okay. I like to I arrange my trays in a way so I don't have a ton of markers. It just makes getting the humidity dome on and off easier if there's not a ton of plant markers in them. Now, once I up pot these, I can't get these seeds out. Once I up pot these, they will each get their own plant marker. But because they are in these 72 cell trays, I just put one marker in per variety. So anyway, black cherry. Black cherry is actually becoming pretty popular. I have seen it at my local farmer's market quite a bit. And I actually think that you can get them at the grocery store now, maybe. And I only have 3 of these, so we're gonna plant all 3. I actually bought today at Aldi, I bought this pack of cherry tomatoes, and they were all different colors. And one of them really looked like it might be a black cherry. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what it looked like to me. And last we have Sun Gold, which is my favorite yellow cherry. And get another marker. So when I do my markers, I get these on Amazon. I've talked about them before. And I use a fine tip Sharpie because it's easier for me to write on. But I just do 1 per variety, or like the Sun Golds are going into 2 rows, so I'll do 2 on that one. Sun Golds are like the classic yellow cherry tomato. They are these a hybrid? Or are these considered an heirloom? Yeah, they're a hybrid. I got these from Botanical Interests, but you can get these kind of all over the place now. I think they've become way more popular over the last few years. They are just delicious. So I need to save some of these this year too, because I don't have very many left. I'm throwing seeds. So, I am also going to show you the peppers in this video. Once we get this tray planted, I'll show you how the peppers are doing. They look pretty good. I had some weird germination, and I think it's probably just because some of the seeds may have been a little old or something. I'm not really sure. So I didn't have perfect germination. Some of the varieties, I just didn't have anything come up at all. And so I re-sowed and had a little bit of success, but overall I am happy with how they look. They look really good, which is exciting. This next variety, I'm moving on to the bigger tomatoes. I think I forgot to put this on my list because I didn't have it on my spreadsheet. This is called Wapsipinicon Peach, and it is a yellow tomato, but it has like a fuzzy skin. And I got these from M.I. Gardener, and I am really curious to try these. I love a yellow tomato. These are a little bit smaller. They're not like a big beefsteak size. They're a little bit smaller, but I'm just really curious because their skin is slightly fuzzy, which is weird. So we're gonna try them and see what we think. I have been just honestly biding my time until I could do all of this. Starting the peppers was a good preview for spring. I also have, I'll show you what else I have on my seed shelf over here in a minute too, but I have my, I have some onion seeds that I started, the little sets. I have my onion sets that I ordered from Gurney's came. Those are down there because it's way too cold here to plant them right now. And then I have some sweet potatoes going to make some slips. So I have just all kinds of random stuff on the shelf right now. So I did have to move some stuff around to have room to put this tray, and I'm gonna start a tray of flowers and some herbs today too, just to kind of get some things going. So we're gonna have basically a whole shelf full of plants here pretty soon, which is exciting, and I love that. Now, I did also want to give you an update on the greenhouse, because a couple weeks ago, I shot a video doing some maintenance to the greenhouse because it did need some work. But I did all that work, and then we had a windstorm. And I bet you know where I'm going with this. The greenhouse got picked up off the ground. I'll put in a photo of it because I took a photo of it before I went out and rescued it. So I look out. I actually heard it. I heard it get picked up and then thrown back down. And I ran outside. And as I ran outside, the greenhouse got picked up again and almost went over the fence. So that was fun. So I had to actually pull it back down and sit it back up. And I attached it. I drove a T-post in the ground and screwed it to the greenhouse so it didn't fly off again. But yeah, that was fun. So the greenhouse is broken, like fully actually broken now. So we decided that because there's no reason not to, we're gonna expand it. We were actually going to do that anyway, but we were going to wait until like next year to do that. But because we're gonna have to rebuild it anyway, we're gonna expand it. So I'm gonna be adding another cattle panel to it. So my greenhouse is made with one cattle panel. It's like a 4x6 footprint. So that's gonna turn into an 8x6 footprint. And yeah, so I'm gonna basically have double the greenhouse space this year, which is good because I am starting a ton of plants. And I actually was worried about how I was gonna get all these plants out into the greenhouse. So now I don't have to worry about it because I'll have plenty of room. But it's just another thing that we have to do now. And money that I wasn't really planning on spending on the garden this year. That was gonna be a next year thing, but it's okay. You know, I'm gonna have more room, so that'll be better. It'll be easier to shoot videos in there too because it was so tight that I didn't honestly have room to do much of anything in there. So I'll have more room to move around, and I will have more room to shoot videos and all that. This packet is just, oof, okay. This is just the determinate Roma that I'm doing right now, and I haven't grown these since 2019, I don't think, or these, yeah, these are from 2019. But I wanted to do some just because I kind of want to, I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to do some determinate stuff, and I already had these seeds, so I thought, well, why not? We'll just do these. I don't know. I go back and forth on determinates because I like that you get a lot of tomatoes all at once. So if you're going to be canning them, you basically, you get all of the tomatoes in a couple weeks span from those plants. But at the same time, I just don't think Romas are the best tomato. I really honestly don't like them very much. And I know people are going to be like, Romas are the best and blah, blah, blah. I only grow Romas. And it's like, why do you... There's so many other things out there that are better, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to grow some this year. Again, I don't know why, but I am. So I just planted 5 of them. So we'll see how many I get. I did do some extras because they are kind of old. These are just called red beefsteak. No, they're not. They're called beefsteak VF. I don't know what the VF stands for, but they're from Gurney's. I wanted to try a couple new red varieties this year. Mostly to sell because people do love a red tomato. But I am also going to grow one. Yeah, just to see what it's like. There are a few varieties that I sell that I don't grow myself. Like Jumbo Roma, I don't grow myself. What else do I not grow myself? A few things, actually. But I have people that really like them. So that's why I grow them. Like Abe Lincoln, I had people have really good success with this the last time I sold it. I grew it last year and they did not do well, and I didn't really like them, but I'm gonna grow a few just because people do tend to like them, I guess. So that's the thing when you sell plants is, if it were up to me, everybody would grow an Aunt Ruby's German Green, a Chianti Rose, a Carbon, and an Amana Orange. Everybody would grow those tomatoes. And no one wants any of those. Amana Orange I do sell, or like a Kellogg's Breakfast. Those two kind of go hand in hand for me. I grow them both, but I don't sell them both. So that, if it were up to me, that's what people would buy, and that's what people would grow. But people don't want that. They want Cherokee Purple, which I don't offer. I don't grow that. They want like a red slicer, they want a Roma, they want a, you know, whatever they have in their brain that they want, that's what they want. So I try to give the people what they want. This one is called Hillbilly, and that I'm just planting right now. This is one that I'm gonna grow. And it is like a yellowy, orangey red, which is really cool. They get nice and big, which I like. Big Rainbow. This is another new one for me this year. I'm really excited about it. It's also like a red orange tomato. Okay. Reading the back of the packet. I'm also throwing some ground cherries in this tray because I had a couple spots left. And I definitely want to get those in here. These are like the world's tiniest seeds. All right, so there's our tray of tomatoes. Very exciting. Ended up with 70 cells full of tomato seeds. So the next thing I'm gonna do is use my little pump sprayer. This is a 1 liter pump sprayer. I'm going to moisten the tops of the soil, and I'm gonna fill the bottom tray, not fill, but I'm gonna put some water in the bottom tray. Cover it with a humidity dome and put it on a heat mat. These will start coming up in, it could be 3 or 4 days, I'll have some little sprouts. So that is not very long compared to peppers that feel like they take forever. Tomatoes usually don't take very long, but they can. So if you don't see anything, just be patient. I know it's hard. I check on mine like every 2 hours, it seems like, especially because they're in my office. So as I'm working through the day, if I get up, I come back in here, I'm looking at the plants, I'm looking at the seedlings, I'm looking at the trays, which is ridiculous, and I know that, but that's just the type of person I am. So here's the peppers. They are looking really good. Really happy with them. They are doing okay over here in this little area. You can see some of them are like really looking lush, and that makes me very happy. Look at that. Beautiful little guys. Now, like back here is where I had my rough, turn this tray around, where I had my rough germination back here, which I don't really understand, but it's fine. So we have those, and then down here, we have some onions that I started from seed, onion sets back there in the back, and then these are my 3 sweet potatoes. So these are from the ones I grew last year. You can see this one already has some slips on it, which is exciting. And these other 2 I just started a couple days ago, so they are still a little behind. But I'm gonna get this tray watered and get it under some lights and on a heat mat, put a dome on it, and we're gonna have some tomatoes pretty soon. We are 1 step closer to a tomato sandwich, and that makes me very excited for the upcoming growing season. I am gonna start a tray of flowers, but I might not do it right now. 1 tray is a lot of seedlings, especially when I use these big 72 cell trays like this. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, and I am going to shoot another video this week out in the garden, but it is too cold to do that right now. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.